St. Paul knew well how God's ways and plans far exceed our understanding and sometimes leave us gaping in surprise at what he has in store for us. Such was certainly the case for one Christian persecuting Saul of Tarsus, later far better known as St. Paul and honored with the title the Apostle by no less than St. Thomas Aquinas, the Church's angelic doctor. I can identify with Paul's story to a certain extent. I spent 25 years of my early adulthood as an atheist, and though I did not persecute Christians, I certainly did nothing to bring anyone to Christ. That is, until I got knocked off my high horse, so to speak, and the scales fell from my eyes, when the Holy Spirit led me to the wisdom of St. Thomas Aquinas, and my faith was restored with my reason left intact. As I look back to the days of yore before I left the church, I recall that the confirmation name I chose as a child happened to be Paul. I think it was because I liked the sound of the name, and I had a friend named Paul. As a childhood fan of Superman and a burgeoning young weightlifter, had I known that Paulus in Latin meant little or small, I am pretty sure I would not have chosen that name. I appreciate God's humor now, half a century later, when I reflect on what an appropriate choice it was. Even in my years of atheism, I greatly appreciated the Greco-Roman heritage of Western civilization in philosophy, politics, and law, and in how it inspired the formation and constitution of the United States of America. When I returned to Christ and His Church in my early 40s, I came to understand the transcendent truth, beauty, and goodness of our Judeo-Christian heritage as well, with no loss of respect for what came from the best of the classical Greeks and Romans. Well, in Paul we have a Jew, a Roman citizen who knew Greek philosophy and wrote his scriptural letters in Greek and who became the greatest evangelist of Christ to the Gentiles. Paul, then, is the supreme embodiment of a Judeo-Christian Greco-Roman 4-in-1 special. Recently, I was happy to find that one very prominent Christian indeed, our late Pope Emeritus, Benedict XVI, had highlighted this about Paul as well.